Okay, I'm Jacoby West, and this is my take two. My first video didn't work for some reason. I was having a lot of issues in terms of my AIs and bot spawning. So I figured it's probably just going to be best if I play it in Forge, where I know it was working, and I'll go through and explain everything. So the level takes place on the outskirts of a burning city. Pretty much you're fighting your way through in order to get to one of 2 points that are going to be back out there. We've got some blockers along here that are painted through the map, and up through here we've got a couple of spawners. Here is going to be the logic brain for all of our following scripts. So this is just going to be for the Romeo squad. That's going to tell us how they follow us. We've got our spawn points here, and we've got a couple of weapons here, and then we also have a equipment spawner here. Now this equipment spawner is a drop shield that'll allow you to block a few shots from the enemies for a little bit. But when you spawn in, you're going to have this small arena here that has, dots of cover spread throughout the area. You've got some cars to make sure that you can run up and attack the enemy as they're progressing towards this point here, which is friendlies 1. And then we've got our spawn point right here, which will get loaded in whenever we hit this loader here. Here's some of our loading script, and this also has the next AI sequences that come in, and then also a trait script for our minigun. Now, as we come throughout this level, you'll see some more spawners throughout here. You'll also see a couple of these plasma coils, and that's simply just so you can toss them onto groupings of enemies to help you get through this portion of the level. Now, as we come up here, you can actually see that we've got several AI that spawn through here, all of these being Marines that will be snipers, as we can see here, Sniper 1 and Sniper 2, and some of them just being some general assault units. We've also got this turret here. They'll be able to get on it and help fight off any enemies that come through here. And again, we've got that road, the similar road gameplay where you're able to run up, shoot out of the cracks and whatnot. Or alternatively, you could be a Halo player and jump around up here. This will just allow you to use the map a little bit more like a jungle gym. If you want to run down here on the ground, since there's not a ton of verticality in this section of the map, you're more than capable of getting some verticality using the vehicles. If you're behind cover, the enemies will also be able to jump up here, and I'll show off the nav mesh in a moment so I can actually show you what I'm talking about. But the enemies will be able to jump up here and fight you from above. We've got a mob closet right here that you can also run through in case you just wanted to shortcut through the map into this area, which I'll explain in just one moment. And I've made sure to put ammunition crates on both sides. But as we walk through here, you'll see some enemies that are right up there. And again, we've got more of this general road gameplay, and then you finally reach this area. Now this area is going to be where you hold off against the Banished as they try to repel you from entering the outskirts of the city. Now here we've actually got two main paths once this firefight's over. We've got this way up here that we can run all the way up, and then we've also got the main gates through here, which will spawn one group of AIs that goes and attacks the other group of Banished that'll be patrolling over here if you do choose to walk through this area. And we've also got this path over here that is just a long run into the very, very outer areas of the city. Now here I've got a little bit of a scene that is played out here. You're going to come across a squad of Marines, and we've got a couple of Spartans here as well. but they've got several weapons for you and your Marine followers to pick up. As like stated previously, there are scripts for Marines to follow you around. We've got our Enemy Patrol 2 spawner that spawns once you hit this checkpoint right here. And then we also have the spawner back here that is the Hollywood spawner, as I've affectionately called this area Hollywood. This road's name is Hollywood, so we have the Hollywood entrance here. We've got our sidewalks, and we've got a couple of places for you to kind of get in, got a couple of alleys. That way you can get in here if you need to, and then just peek toss a couple of grenades through the area. We've got more shock rifles, and then we have Hollywood Stop. This is going to be another loader. Here we've got a blocker. You are able to jump back here technically, but you know, there's a big lit path over here. And as you come through here, you're going to hit a spawner that is right here for the Hollywood Alley. And then as we hit this loader here, you're going to spawn in Hollywood EE2. And then we also have Hollywood reinforcements once you hit a different spawner. But Hollywood EE2 is going to go to EE1, where they're just going to wander around here until you kill them. As we go through here, we've got another alleyway here, and then we've got a jackal spawner here, and then we have another jackal spawner here. This is our hallway, and we've got a move zone. That way the enemies from EE1 will also come up here. We've got a respawn point here, that way you don't get all the way in and then die. And we've also got our second Hollywood Stop load script. That load script will spawn in our enemies up here. Got some ways to avoid the enemy, and we've also got that nice little drop shield if you were able to save it up until now. We've got a teleporter right there, that way we, when we're playtesting the level, we can actually get through everything really quick. But we've got this area where you'll hit your checkpoint, you'll get your 3 objective markers that show up for each building respectively. And you'll be able to get a quick glimpse of the structure you're about to go into. Now, here we've got a few AI spawners that will trigger once you activate this terminal here. And we've also got additional reinforcements that will come in, if I can get into the right area. We've got additional reinforcements that will spawn here. And then if we fly through here, we've also got more reinforcements. And they will grab weapons before they come to meet up with you. Patrolling, but you'll end up on top of this roof, which another little combat area. Unfortunately, again, this is about where I started running out of things for the map budget. But this is another one of our objective triggers, and same thing here. Now, if we take note of these fences that are placed throughout certain parts of the map, when we're playing through, you'll notice that they're not there. These fences spawn for Fortress Entrance 1, which is this entrance right over here and up there. But if we go into Fortress Entrance 2, these will be spawned, blocking off the player from going to certain paths. In Fortress Entrance 2, the player must go through this barracks, and then they're limited to one loop here, where they can then climb up the side, hit this checkpoint here, and then they'll be able to jump down through the exit. Make sure that the player would have to wind around a little bit, that way they're not just running in an endless amount of straight lines, and also got some things to prevent the player from scaling up this wall so quickly, so that way he can't just jump through effortlessly to complete this objective without anyone noticing. And we've got ways to avoid the enemy, hit this, and then continue on through. Now, once you hit all 3 objectives, you'll actually be able to proceed through this section where you're going to have to make a mad dash down as you have a whole bunch of grunts pouring in from the sides trying to detonate themselves all over you. We've got a good area for resistance here, and you'll also have some allied marines that'll help you out. You've got weapons here, you've got ammunition here, and here. You've got fusion coils here, here, you've got more weapons here, and then you also have a rocket launcher that spawns here. Alright, so we've got this area here. Took me a minute to figure out why I was against the Marines here. As it turns out, I just got loaded onto the wrong team for some reason. We'll go ahead, pick up some ammo here, and we'll also hit our nice, neat dandy checkpoint here. Now, as we fight through here, I'm going to jump up here, get access to the next plane of existence, and we've also got the, that hurt a lot. We're gonna toss that, bam. Oh wow, okay. Now I'm also gonna show that my function works to respawn. There we go. We've got our little spawn point here. There we go. Oh, you don't get blasted to bits by the enemy vehicles, and you can actually hide and take cover, and they didn't see what was coming to them. But we do have some AIs that'll stop shooting me. We have some AIs that'll drop down and they'll get into position here. Now we're going to hit our firefight here, and I'm going to speed this part up because it's a bit painful. But we've got our main blotches of cover. That way you can sit here and shoot. Okay, now that the firefight's done, we've got two ways we can go up. I'll be revealing this way in a moment, so we're going to focus on going down Hollywood Road. Here, we'll immediately hit a spawn. Interesting, I've never had them spawn in front of me like that. Quite strange. We do have a squad of Marines here, 3 of them, that, oh, you poor hunter. We have a squad of Marines here that will follow you till death's doorstep, and quite literally till death's doorstep. A couple of Marines are going to go over there, engage the enemies over there, but we're going to be heartless and not engage them. Instead, we're going to rush towards this point with the other Marines. Come through, hit this checkpoint. Immediately realize we're about to get shot to death, and I'm going to take out this here.
crowded places, you feel this panic starting to rise. When you're surrounded by lots of people, like on a bus, you start to feel hot. And to prevent this from happening, you start avoiding a lot of places, which makes you feel lonely and isolated.
Some areas that'll block off the AI. I had to work really hard to try to stay within the confines of the node script. Something wasn't working correctly. I had a spawner that wasn't spawning me in the location that it was very much so meant to be. All of my marines just got blown up there. Where it says debug node graph script successfully into the game, that means we've beat the level and we're good to, normally the game would just end here. Now, the nav mesh, everything that's in blue is going to show you exactly where AI can walk. So AI can walk all throughout these lands here.